Here is our working table. So if you want to do your tie and dye, you need space, okay? And because tie and dye is a bit messy, you need to cover the surface of whatever you are going to be using. For example, I'm using a plastic table, and this is a Macintosh that I'm using so that, you know, it will not stain my white plastic table. Okay, so let's go into the introduction of the materials quickly. So this is dye. So we have different colors of dye, okay? And this type of dye is called VAT dye, V-A-T, VAT dye. There are other types of dye, Prussian dye, cold water dye, but this is called VAT dye, and VAT dye cannot work alone. VAT dye has to work along with some chemicals that I'm going to be introducing. So it comes in different colors: gray, yellow, golden yellow, purple, black, whatever colors that you want, you always get it. And the next item I'll be introducing is our bottles. We call it dispenser. And there are different bottles. You see, I brought out 3 types of bottles. So these, I ordered it from AliExpress. Okay, this one makes whatever you want to do. It helps you to curtail your design. You know, it doesn't spread anyhow on your material. This, I got it from AliExpress, very cheap. I think 1,000 naira for like 5 bottles. And in case you can't get this one yet, this is something that you can improvise. Your normal plastic bottles, just get a nail, a very tiny nail, pierce the top, and you can use it as your dispenser till you'll be able to get this. Then this is also like ketchup dispenser. Okay, you can get this in bakery class. I mean where they sell bakery items, you can get it. It's also cheap. All right, so these are your bottles. You need your bottles, okay? And there are times that you don't need bottles, you can use spoon, but it means that you have gotten to a level where you can be able to do it without making mistakes. But for starters, please get this or you get this. All right, the next item are your chemicals. Chemicals. They are corrosive, they are poisonous, and that's why you have to be very, very careful. When you're handling chemicals, make sure you have your gloves on. You're going to be seeing how I'm going to be doing it. So the chemicals that work with VAT dye, there are 2. They are called hydrosulfite and caustic soda. Okay, so hydrosulfite is powder in nature. Hydrosulfite helps your dye to stick to your material. Okay, it helps your dye to stick to your material. Okay, I'm going to be giving you the proportion. Then caustic soda helps to open your fabric up so that the dye can enter into it. Okay, so I'm going to be giving you the proportion. And also you need your nose mask. You need your nose mask, don't forget, because hydrosulfites, the smell is terrible. Okay, so you need your nose mask, and to prevent your health as well. Then you have raffia rope. This is raffia rope. It's like grass but rubber. It's like grass but it's rubber. It's very cheap. I think I got this one for 200 naira. Got it for 200 naira. Then in case you cannot get this one, you know those shoemaker rope, that kind of rope that shoemakers use to to sew. You can use it to tie. This will create a kind of resist, because tie and dye is like tie dye. You understand? You tie it and you dye it. I should have said that in the beginning. Tie dye, you tie and you dye. So these are the things that you need to create the resist, where the colors will not be able to enter and to create patterns. So this is another type of rope, raffia rope. They call it raffia rope as well. Then these are your rubber bands. There are some design that the raffia rope will take time to do, but rubber bands will make it easier for you. And there are some designs that you can't use rubber band, that you need your raffia rope. So you need the 2 when it comes to. As time goes on, you'll be seeing the designs that we'll be creating with all these ropes. Then you need your scissors. Your scissors is very important, and you need your tablespoon. Most times they say don't use metal tablespoon. Why? Because it can rust, but I use it. But you can use plastic, okay? Then also we have, then I need to tell you something. These chemicals should not be opened like this. They should be kept in containers like this that are airtight. And even before you keep them into the container, make sure you wrap them in many nylons, because when they are exposed to air, they die. Like the potency reduces and they die. So you put it in an airtight container. Then we have IPO. hypo. We're going to be using you're going to be seeing the designs that we're going to create with this hypo. All right, and also your gloves. You need your gloves. Don't joke with your gloves. Although I don't use it all the time, but I won't advise you not to do that, because most times I end up with my nails being eaten because of the chemicals. So always use your gloves. Okay, don't be like me. All right, we have our sticks. You see, you have this stick. This one is a mopping stick that I just saw in my environment. I just picked it up, and this is a file, and this is a pipe. You're going to be seeing what we're going to be doing with it. So we have a rope. We have a rope. You see the designs that we're going to create with it. And you need your basins, you need your bowls. You need your bowls, okay? Tie and dye has to do with water. It's a water business, okay? If it's a water business, so you need your bowls and you need your turning stick. You see all these materials, you have them in the house. You need your turning stick. Then you have this. This one is you see, this is one of the thing I brought out from my old fridge, you know, instead of me buying. And sometimes if you have a fan, you know that circle on top of a fan, you can use it instead if you know you can't get this one. So you know, we all know that it's in the fridge now, so I just took it out. So this is what you put your fabric on after you have tied it, and then you use that as the dye is coming out, it is going into this. It is not going back into the fabric, and then it does not make your work messy. You need fabric. And what type of fabric do you need? You need 100% cotton fabric. Okay, so if you ask me, how about silk, how about polyester? No, there are other dyes that can do that. But if you are using that dye, you need 100% cotton fabric. And sometimes I use fabrics that are not 100%, but at least the wool percent has to be, I mean the cotton percent has to be like 70. Not less than 70, please. If not, the dye will not penetrate. You will not like it, okay? So if you want to use the fabric for that dye, make sure it is cotton fabric. So you have cotton fabric like what you use for your t-shirts, what you use for what do they call it? Is it a Kampala? You know, Kampala, Guinea. Yes, Guinea. They say Guinea too is 100%. It works very, very well. Okay, so sometimes if I want to do wrappers and I don't want to buy Guinea, I just go to where I can get bed sheets, you know, long materials like bed sheet. I get it cotton and I work with them. You'll see one of them. I bought them for this class. So when you get your material, soak it in water. Okay, before you start working with it. Why? Because we need to get rid of the debris. We need to get rid of the starch that comes with those clothes, you know, where they have been made, where they have been manufactured. And when you are washing, you don't wash like, you know, with all your power. You just put it in water. Just put it in water. You're not adding soap, just ordinary water. Okay, you rinse it. And don't over squeeze, because when you over squeeze, the material might become more enlarged. So don't squeeze. You wash, you bring it out, you just do like this. Just